and it's my privilege to call you for the first time as DTA.
My privilege to have you as my mentor here, at the same very stage where I started my journey. Thank you very much. Let me just... Good morning once again.
Morning.
The reason why I'm here right now is to give a very important business session. Of late, all my fraternity members from Toastmasters have been asking me different questions regarding what to do, what not to do related to health. And thanks to WhatsApp University, we have so much available that it's important to bust the myth. So here I am trying my little best to give it to the audience what all I can in the best possible way. So the subject is raising health awareness. What exactly am I going to do? I'm going to give you a case scenario. But how? Because I'm going to show and tell everyone how any person who can be adept to particular surroundings in particular manner can actually achieve success and help others achieve that success. So having said that, your voice has power, no doubt about that. So I'm trying to give my voice a little bit of power so that your voice becomes more adept. And then you can actually achieve that success which is required. There will be some Latin and French in it. Sometimes as doctors we also don't understand that. But I'll try to simplify it as much as possible. Having said that, if you have any questions, don't ask me and don't tell me until the session is over. Okay, this is just to make sure that we're having an interaction. I need the audience to be alive. You just had your breakfast, come on.
Yes.
So one of the most common questions whenever we get into the clinic or at the hospital is what? By the patients from the other side of the table.
What happened?
What happened? Very commonly asked. So now I want to ask, what happened? Why are you so quiet again? Let me give you a case scenario. I had a patient in my clinic, 65 years male. He's a retired banker. He's type 2 diabetes for a long time. And he's hypertension, and he follows regularly at the clinic. Are you ready? Okay, fine. So now what happens is, there's a slight history for this one. So he's retired for the past 2 years. He has got a sedentary lifestyle. That means he's usually at home doing nothing. And at the same time, he's trying to maintain his weight. He also has good compliance with his medications. For all medications he's taking it nicely. For the first time in this consultation, he came along with his son and daughter. So here's the catch. Family. Whenever the family members are there, I usually get a little tensed up. Because the patient does not ask so many questions, but the family members who actually visit, they think they are adept to the surrounding, and then they have the right to achieve success in asking questions. Having said that, as I said, Latin, this is Latin now, but you don't have to worry about that. This, to give an idea, these are some blood vessels for the patient. He was maintaining his blood vessels nicely. Because as you can see, which I'm going to talk about it sometime later in some next sessions, how the blood sugar is for the past 3 months. So the past 3 visits, that is approximately 9 to 10 months, he was doing fine absolutely. Everything was good. But during this visit, everything changed since he retired. So you understand the scenario? He was fine in the past 3 visits. This visit, everything changed for him. So what happened? He's on this medication, it's fine. Now, accompanied by son and daughter with the clinic follow-up, during the consultation, interesting conversation happened, and that was the son who was for the first time in the clinic said, "My father always eats bananas. I tell him it is not good for diabetes patients, but he does not listen." First thing. Second, patient's daughter, who I never saw before, she said, "This is the reason he is gaining weight and his blood glucose levels are high." So I asked them very politely, "From where do we get this information?" They said, "WhatsApp." Social media. The first thing which comes regularly. And also on Twitter and YouTube, there's so many videos saying bananas are the culprits for diabetes patients and etc. So then I made it a point that yes, this is the time I have to address the issue now. So if my reaction was completely like this, I asked whether you went to the dietitian for the visit, and the dietitian regularly said, "Please have 100 kilocalories and etc. and all those things." So this was surprising for me because it's a part of the dietitian who needs to actually, because they're adept to it. And they need to do it, but they're not doing it. So everything was good for the patients. There was minimal weight gain, 82 to 86. Obviously, he's a sedentary lifestyle, but does not account only for the bananas. He's retired banker. Now, just to summarize, retired banker, long duration of diabetes, maintained last for 3 users, only this with the lose high. Patient's family blame the bananas for it. So are they adept to actually blame the bananas? No. I was confused like everyone else. How am I supposed to react? Because they were fired up completely. They knew what they were saying is right. Believe me, one thing, what I have learned, especially at the clinics, and I have two doctors here with me and they will agree with me at the same time, that sometimes it's very difficult to convince the person on the opposite side. No matter you have the evidence-based medicine with you, but their beliefs are much more stronger and they are not willing to listen to. Now, I thought it's time to plan and have a discussion on bananas. So can anybody tell me exactly, is it a really fruitful fruit?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Again, they got it from WhatsApp.
Not good for people who are having diabetes.
So let's just bust a myth now. And here I am trying to get that thing clearly from my position of being adept in giving an idea so that we all achieve that success. The most common in the western part of the world or in the Mediterranean part of the world is banana, which is used as a staple fruit. Because it's powerhouse of fruit that can kickstart your day. We all agree to this thing. And at the same time, there's a whole spectrum of health benefits at each step. Mind my words, at each step of the fruit's maturity.
Yeah.
So here we go. All varieties of bananas are approximately around 100 calories, low in fat, rich in sources of fiber, which is very important, potassium and etc. You can get all those things online, but I'm trying to concentrate on something which is very specific, which is required on a day-to-day basis. Having said that, can eating bananas be harmful for diabetes patients?
Yes.
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 Ripe and banana.
Depends on the maturity.
Yes. So people with diabetes are often asked to limit bananas, like this son and daughter. They were saying that they have to reduce it or stop it, and there are certain do's and don'ts to be followed. One of the most delicious fruits that can be easily digested is a banana. We need to know that, and it has got high fiber and potassium, especially for people who are having constipation. Fiber helps in relieving that constipation. So also, it has got high carbohydrates. So, in a way, it is not that good for a diabetes patient. Generally, for anyone having it. Diabetes patients should be careful while eating carbohydrate-rich fruits. And banana has carbohydrates which can increase blood glucose levels. Therefore, it also has fibers that blunts sugar spike, slows digestion, absorption of carbohydrate, and helps regulate blood glucose. So it has got both pros and cons. So it is also trying to adapt to its naturality of giving blood sugar levels. How do we proceed further? Having one banana along with a protein source will ensure the blood glucose levels don't spike. So this is one thing which we need to keep in mind, the protein source. So if you're having a banana, if you're having a protein source, much better. It also depends, as someone just mentioned, upon the ripeness of the fruit. But how many times we actually take what we need to take from Panda or Vindavud or Danube or anywhere else? We actually choose completely opposite. Can anybody tell me how many different types of bananas are there, depending on the maturity or ripeness?
Raw one, and then you have green, yellow, and dotted ones with dark green.
So 4 you said. I say, you say?
We
We cannot forget the rice.
The ones which you pick and the ones which your wife picks.
Very important, right? With experience that's coming.
Special variety.
Okay, so there are actually 5 ones. Underripe, pale yellow, ripe, very ripe, and overripe. So all of them we see on day-to-day basis, especially at the end of the slide. The last 2 are okay. So the underripe banana is usually the green one, which is good, helpful for diabetes patients, can be eaten. Anyway, what all I'm saying, I'm going to give references for that in the end. So it's not from my university or Watson University. I have tried to adapt to the evidence-based medicine available. High amounts of dietary fiber is very good. At the same time, it helps in digestion, keeps us full for a longer period of time, and you feel good about it. Less sweet, little bitter. That's why people don't prefer. And at the same time, great source of prebiotics. Now, pale yellow, the green top are rich in probiotics and not that sweet. Can be eaten by diabetes patients. Mind that word, can be eaten by diabetes patients. At the same time, high antioxidant levels have good fiber content. Gradual shift from starch to sugar. That means they're starting to become sweet, but they are not sweet as such. That means to progress towards whitening. Then we have right, the free brown spots which one of our Toastmasters mentioned, they can have, but it has to be portion control. What exactly is portion control? That means you balance what you're eating. So if you're having a banana, that means you need to make sure that you avoid the other foods which are rich in carbohydrates, which we actually don't do that, but still. Sweet taste for sure. Then we have got very ripe bananas. This one. Where do we find this usually?
In the M&E shop on the road.
1 point. Second,
In our home, we keep it long time.
exactly. In our home, and we keep it for the long time. They get adapt to their surroundings. That's it. Right. Easy to digest, has high natural sugar. They are very sweet in taste. I tried it. That's a different issue. Diabetes patients should seriously portion control this variety. Better to avoid for the diabetes patient. I think it's better to avoid for everyone who is a little bit careful about their weight. And then we have got the overripe banana. The more ripe a fruit, the more concentrated its sugars become. It's very well known. Then the extra sugar in this ripe version of the fruit, paid the potential for minor rotting that you just didn't notice, is going to wreak havoc on your digestion. This is why we have gastric upset. People love it. Where? At the end. Strictly no for a diabetes patient. So ripe and very ripe bananas, but they are good for patients who are having low blood sugars always, hypoglycemia, which we call it, suddenly. So you just give them the blood sugar, try sugars back to normal. I'm sure you must be having questions, but I'm not taking them right now because I'm still trying to adapt to what I have to say further. So having said that, these are some of the references which again are Latin in French. You don't have to bother, but I'm just showing it because if I don't show, then you'll say it's from Watson University. So I have to make sure that I adapt to what I have to say, and this is what exactly it is. Some of the literature which is evidence-based, I'm going to rush through it because I have time limit. But all of these literatures very clearly give us an indication for bananas which are not ripe, or at least, Ravi, can you please get that one?
You have a banana?
Please open it up. It's a token of appreciation for having me here, so that I am going to make this as an everlasting impact for all of you. Please distribute the green bananas to everyone. I have to search for it so that I get the exact prompt for the presentation.
Wow.
Because as Toastmasters, we have to adapt to what we do.
We don't have the right one.
Alright, so this is what exactly is. Some literature very clearly says that underripe bananas are a great source of prebiotics for gut health. So anybody having problem with the gut, this is the best source to have it. Having said that, why a slightly unripe banana is better breakfast choice than the ripe fruit? Because for diabetes patients, that's the best source of prebiotics, good source of fiber and potassium. This is the literature. Now, let's be practical. Very, very clear. You know, what is this?
Coffee shop.
Sugar house.
Sugar house. Exactly. Because if I search on Google, limit to search to Jeddah, these are the cafes and you can find the bananas here. You know what kind of bananas are these at the coffee shops?
Right.
The very ripe.
The very
Yeah.
ripe ones.
Yeah.
Powerhouse of sugars. And they serve us very nicely and very deliciously and happily we all eat them. Clubbed with all those sauces and everything. So just imagine that you're supposed to have only 100 calories of banana and here you have approximately 500 calories of banana. So will you prefer a green banana or will you prefer the sugar house?
Green sugar.
Green for sure. Because we need to take care of our health. Unfortunately not. So the 6 most delicious ways to use the overripe bananas with the coffee shops does is always there. Quick bread and muffins, banana bread and muffins, we all aware of this. And then we have got smoothies and milkshakes, and pancakes, and cookies, and oatmeal with ice cream. So we need to avoid this. Once in a while is fine, but every day, because if you walk into any of the coffee shop, you find people happily munching it. So we need to avoid this thing. Confused still? Clear. Hopefully this was able to serve. So my take home message is please have the banana at the moment right now and then you can enjoy yourself very well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Yaminuddin.